'Twas a Friday sky of sorrow, hanging heavy, dark and still, as the crowd cried out for judgment on a lonely olive hill. He could have called 10,000 angels, he could have walked away, but he chose the path of suffering on that unforgiving day. It was the weight of heaven's silence as the hammer met the nail, when the Holy One stood willing, though his flesh was torn and frail. No thunder rolled to stop it, no army filled the sky, just the weight of heaven's silence as the Son of God would die. Mary stood in shattered heartbreak, watching love be crucified, while the soldiers gambled freely at the foot of wounded pride. Every breath was drawn in anguish, every word was mercy's plea. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do to me. It was the weight of heaven's silence, holding back the rightful storm, as the author of creation hung there beaten and torn. The earth began to tremble, the veil was torn in two, but heaven kept its silence till redemption's work was through. All the sin of generations pressed upon his sacred frame, every lie and every failure, every act of hidden shame. From the garden of beginning to the final breath he gave, he was carrying the sentence that was meant to be my grave. It was the weight of heaven's silence that no mortal could withstand, as the spotless Lamb of glory took the curse upon his hands. The Father turned his face away from what he could not embrace, while mercy wrote my freedom in the blood that marked that place. Then the stone was rolled before him, hope seemed buried in the night. All the promises lay lifeless in the absence of the light, but death had underestimated what divine love would proclaim, for the silence broke on Sunday when the risen Savior came. The weight of heaven's silence, where I cannot understand, for the God who chose the suffering still holds me in his hand. If he was faithful through the grave and broke death's iron chain, then the silence I am walking through will turn to praise again. Now when I face my own dark Fridays, when my faith feels worn and thin, I remember heaven's silence was not the end of him. For the quiet is not abandonment, and the stillness is not lost. Sometimes heaven's silence means redemption's at the cross. I will trust the weight of heaven's silence when I cannot understand, for the God who chose the suffering still holds me in his hand. If he was faithful through the grave and broke death's iron chain, then the silence I am walking through will turn to praise again. I was walking through a dry land season where the soil had cracked beneath my feet. Every prayer felt like an echo fading down an empty street. I had built my life on shifting sand, on pride I could not see, till the weight of my own choices finally brought me to my knees. And that's where the river bends toward mercy, where the restless heart can finally rest, where the current of His compassion washes failure from your chest. It doesn't matter where you wander or how far your shame has run, at the place where the river bends toward mercy, grace says, child, you're not undone. There were nights I lay awake in silence, with regret my only friend, counting every broken promise, every road that met a dead end. But in the stillness of that darkness, I could feel a gentle pull, like a shepherd calling softly to a lamb that had been lost too long. That's where the river bends toward mercy, where the weary soul is understood, where the judge becomes a father and the bad is turned to good. He does not stand with condemnation, He does not turn away. At the place where the river bends toward mercy, love has the final say. On a hill outside the city stood a cross against the sky, where the Son of God chose suffering so that I would never die. Every nail was driven deeper than the wounds upon His skin. They were piercing through my rebellion, through the roots of all my sin. And that's where the river bends toward mercy, flowing crimson from His side, where forgiveness meets the guilty and the guilty are justified. The debt I owed was fully paid there, no balance left to claim. At the place where the river bends toward mercy, I was called by name. Now the storms still gather round me, and the winds still test my frame, but I stand on different ground now, marked forever by His name. When temptation tries to pull me back to what I used to be, I remember where the river turned and how His grace delivered me. Yes, I've been where the river bends toward mercy, where the chains of shame were torn, where a sinner found redemption and a new heart was reborn. There is no accusation that His blood cannot erase. At the place where the river bends toward mercy, I was saved by grace. And When my final breath is fading and this earthly race is run, I will see that shining river flowing from the Holy One. It will carry me to glory where no sorrow will remain. Just the endless song of mercy, like a never-ending rain. For I'm headed where the river bends toward mercy, where the faithful gather near, where the Lamb who bore my burden wipes away each tear. I will stand redeemed forever by the power of His cross, at the place where the river bends toward mercy. Nothing I was is lost.